Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Shiko Math Practice Lab Algebra 2 lecture series. In this video, we're going to cover the lesson 1.8, and we're going to cover the topic, how to solve inequalities. Okay, and now let me go to show you the worksheets we're going to use here. So let me go to, okay, so here is the worksheets. Okay, so this is worksheet 1.8. So as always, I give you a little summary tables here about inequality. And also, I'm going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems in this worksheet as I highlight in the blue. Then the remaining will be the problems for you try to practice, right? So remember, the practice always make you getting better in the math. See here. So that's what is our worksheets here. Okay, so now let's start, and I'm going to the whiteboard, and let's go ahead and start these lessons here. Okay, so first, let's take a look at the inequality. Let's give a brief lesson about what is the inequalities, right? So inequality, so if, I always, so inequality, you can write like this or like this, right? So if you do like this, if you say A, put here, and B, put here. The way I always tell my students, take a look at, this part here is kind of like, I say this part here, right? So this part is kind of like a mouse, right? Open to the B. So that means B is bigger, right? So this is how do you read? You can say B is greater than A. Or you can read as A is less than B's, right? So if you put like this way, it's the same. So which mouse, which opening? So it's opening to here, right? So whatever the way it opens, so C and D is here, because this is open to C. So which one is bigger? C is bigger, right? So we say C is greater than D, all right? Or you can read as, hey, because it's open to the C, so D is smaller. So you say D is less than C. See here. So that's why when you read the inequality sign, so it depends on where is the openings, right? So like if you see like these ones here, if I have, beside the inequality, I also have equal at the end. What's that means here? Okay, so that means, okay, so still you look, the opening is two y's, right? So the y is bigger. Okay, so you can say is y is greater than, because I have equal sign, you can say y is greater than or equal to x here. All right, and or you can read as x is less than or equal to what? To y's here, right? So that's why you just add you add things that says or equal, right? So or equal. So for the inequality, if you add some things here, so the properties here I list in your worksheets here. So if A is less than B, then if you add some numbers here, so if both sides you add some number, so what happened to in this inequality still remain the same. All right, so if you want to minus something, if you both sides, you minus something, the same things, you minus C, what happened to this inequality? Still remaining the same, right? Okay, now how about the multiplications here, right? So If I have A is less than B here, and the C here is positive, then the A times C and the B times C, what happens here is still the same, right? So if you times something, it still will be the same. So the same way is here, if you divide by C, because C is not 0, you can do that. So it's divided by C. What happens here? This inequality still remain the same, right? Okay, so now the things here, this is the place where the student make mistakes here. How about if you have a negative numbers here, right? So this part is super important, right? So if C is a negative numbers here, now if you times AC times BC, so what happens here? So this inequality will switch. All right. So from here is A less than B, but if C is negative, so you multiply a negative number, your inequality will switch. All right. So the same way, if you divide by a negative numbers, B and C, what happened here? Your inequality has to switch here. So this is super important. All the others were just like you solve the linear equation, just like we solved the equation on the previous, I think, maybe less than 1.6 or 1.5, don't remember. But you know, when you solve the equation, you can add, divide, and then solve it, right? And when you solve it, and then the only thing you need to be careful is if you multiply a negative number or divide by a negative number, you have to switch your inequality signs here. If you remember this, then I think you shouldn't have any problems to solve this, because if you know how to solve the equations, then for the inequality, it's the same here, all right? So let's try to remember that if you do anything, you times or multiplications to a negative number, then you need to switch. If you do addition or subtraction to anything, you know, like if you do, you know, like in here, that's why I did not say the C, you know, see here, I did not say the C is a positive or negative. It doesn't matter, right? If it's addition or subtraction, you know, the C, you can add a negative number, you can plus a negative number, you can add a negative number, or you can add a positive number. The inequality sign will not change, all right? Okay, so let's take a look at some of the problems. We have 7 problems to do. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is a 2x plus 4 and the greater than 36. Remember, whatever is opening to, right? If, you know, in here, this sign is opening to here. So that's how do we read 2x plus 4 greater than 36. So how do I solve this? Just like we solve the equation, right? So we want to save the x to one side, move the number to the other. So first things I would say I minus 4, minus 4. So this is a 2x. Then inequality sign not change, because you plus or minus any number, the inequality sign will not change. So 36 minus 4 give you what? It's 32 here, right? The 32, now you divide by 2, you divide by 2 here. Just like, remember, just like you solve the equations here, you do the same way. Then instead of the equation, you change it to inequalities, right? Okay, so now this is the x is greater than 16, right? Okay, so that is our solution. Now I'm going to graph it in an inequality, in a real number lines here. So let's see here. So let's see if I put this is 0, I put a 2 small scale. So I say this is 4a, 12, 16, and this is 20, and then this is -4, -a, and then -12, -16, and right? Okay, so those are the just, okay, so remember in the real number line, if it's greater than, you go to the right, right? So it's greater than, you go to the right. So here, let's see how do we plot it. X, so read here, the open is here, right? So it's X greater than 16. So I'm finding the 16th here. Because here does not have equal signs here, so I put a circles here. All right, and the X is greater than. So remember, greater than, go where? Go to the right hand side. So that's where is my solution, is this one here. That means that this is the solution for this inequalities, right? Because this one does not have equal sign. So I put the circles here. All right, ready to try some more? Okay, let's see here, these ones here. All right, so this one's here, you know, depends how you want to do it, all right? So let's say here, let's do the minus 17, I will put the, so this is negative 3x. Then the sign still remain the same. It's greater than, equal to, right? So 35 add negative 17. So what in here? I have 18 here, right? I'm solving for x. So what I need to do here? Negative 3. Okay, so here, negative 3 cancel. You will have x here. And negative 3 and the negative 18 to the negative 3. What do we have? Is negative 6, right? Right, because the 18 is 3 times 6. So 3 and 3 cancel. You got a negative 6. Okay, so be very, very careful. This is greater than equal, right? But what I did here, I divide by a negative number. So we say if you divide by or multiply by a negative number, what happened to the equality sign? Inequality sign switch, right? So open used to be here. So this is, I switch to here. All right. Okay, so now let's see how do we graph here. So if this is 0, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is my real number lines, right? So this is -2, -4, -6, -8 here. Okay, so because it's open here, so how do we read it? It's x is less than or equal to -6, right? So from here, we say x greater than 16. So greater than, which side you go? You go right, right? So you go to the right-hand side, right side. Now this is less than, so which side I go to? The less than, I'm going to what? I'm going to, because this is less than, right? So if it's a smaller, less than, I go what? I go left, right? Okay, so now let's try to graph it. Okay, so this is the x is less than equal to -6, right? Because I have an equal sign here. So when I find the -6 here, instead of do a circle, what I have here, I have a solid. And because it's less than, so what happens here? Boom, I go to the what? I go to the left-hand side. So this is my solution. Clear? Okay, so now let's try to do one more time. So this one's here, remember, just like we did in the equation. So let's try to do it. So I said -6. I move the 6 first, right? -6. Okay, so this is the -6. 9x minus 6, how many x? 3x. 3x minus 11 greater than -9. All right, then I need to move the number to other side. So it's like this. So I have 3x greater than -9 plus 11 is how much? 2. Okay, so then in here I divided by 3, so x is greater than 2/3. All right, so now let's try to do here. So this one's here is -1, -2, -3, -4, right? So this is how do we read? X is greater than, remember, greater than is go right. So 2/3. So here's 1. So 2/3 is someplace here. I put a circle. The reason why I put a circle is because of what? I don't have an equal sign. Because it's greater than, I go right. Right? So greater than, I go right. So this is greater than. So this is the solutions here. Right? So go to left here. Okay, and sometime, okay, so maybe sometime your teacher will want you to write into the interval. So greater than you can write as from the 2/3, right? Is always go to the infinity. So this one's here is -6 go to the negative infinity. So there's a negative infinity, and this is -6. Because it have an equal sign, you put a bracket. Right, so here, for these ones here, this is 16, you go to the infinities here. So remember here, the infinity is always the parenthesis. And, if you have equal sign, you need to put a brackets there. So that's what, that's what we did here. Okay, a while ago, I accidentally hit the exit the screen share. So that's why I think your screen turned black. Okay, but anyway, so that's how do we do the inequality. You can, sometimes you can either write into the interval way, or you can write into the, graph the real number lines here, all right? Okay, so now let's take a look at the next ones here. Okay, so this one's here. All right, so this is -3, 4x minus 1. So first, what type of the things we need to do? We talk about what is here. We need to do the distributive properties, right? Or you can, divide it by -3, depends which way, we try the distributive properties, see how that work. Okay, so let's try to practice distributive properties. So this will be what is negative. -3 times 4 is what? -12x. -3 times -1 is what? +3, right? Is greater than equal to what? Greater than equal to 18. Okay, now -3, like always, we do here. And then here, this will be -12x. And here, 3 cancel is greater than equal to 15 here. Now I need to divide by 12 and divide by 12. In fact, I need to divide by -12 and -12 because I want to solve for x. So -12 cancel. So this is x. Okay, 15 to the 12. Let's see how do we simplify this a little bit. 15 is 3 times 5, right? And the -12 is here is -3 times what? -3 times 4, right? Okay, so I can simplify this a little bit. So this will give me -5/4. Okay, so now here again, right? So here again, I have this greater than equal. But what I did here, I divide by a what number? Negative number. So like we said, if you do the inequality, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, what happened to this inequality? Hey, I have to switch the directions here. All right, so x is less than -5/4. Okay, so now less than, go which side? Go left, right? Okay, so less than, remember, less than, go what? Go left, right? Remember these tricks here. So now let's try to graph it, right? Okay, so in here, this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, so now let's take a look. -5/4 is a little bit less than -1. So it's here, right? So it's here. And do I have inequalities? Do I have an equal sign? Yes. So what here is solid, right? So it's solid. Then because it's less than, which way I go? I go left. So this is how do I go? I go left. So this is my solution. Okay. So now let's try to write it out into the interval. So what is the solution? Because I go left, so this end go to where? Go to the negative infinity, right? So I start from negative infinity, and here is what? Negative 5/4. Do I put a parenthesis or bracket? I put a bracket. Why? Because I have this equal signs here, right? Okay. So now let's take a look at this ones here. The E, problem E is here. Wow, I have a lot of parentheses. So let's do the distributive properties here. So boom, boom. And here I can boom, boom, right? Okay, so now let's do the distributive property. Then we will try to solve it. So this is 1 plus 5 times x, 5x. 5 times negative 8. What is that? Negative what? Negative 40, right? And this one, nothing changed. The inequality sign still here is less than 2. All right, be very careful. Like we mentioned before in the distributive property, so this will be negative x. This negative need to apply to the second one also. It's a negative 5. All right. Now let's combine, put x in one side and all the number in the other side. So I say, okay, plus x, plus x. All right, so plus x, plus x. All right, so here. All right, so here, so I have 1 plus 6x minus 40 is less than equal to 2 minus 5. Right? Because this x cancels, right? Okay, now I can combine this a little bit. 6x. So from here, you see here, right? You see here, like this is 1, this is negative 40. So what do you come out with? Negative what? 39. So this is negative 2 minus 5 is what? Is negative 3, right? Okay, so 2 minus 9 is negative 3. So now I can simplify it. It's plus 39 plus 39. So far, so good? Yeah, okay. Just like we solved the equations, right? So that's why if you are good at solving the equation, you should have no problems here. So this will be the 6x here, cancel. So this is less than equal to 39 minus 3 is what? It's 36, correct? Now I can solve the x divided by x. So it's x is 6. Do I need to change the inequality? No, because why? Because I divided by a positive number, so I don't need to change that. Okay, so here, let's say this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, so how do we read this one? So this is x is less than 6. Less than, what do we do? Go what? Go left or go right? Go left, right? I'm going left here. Okay, so let's try to find the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's 6. But because I have the equal sign, what I need to do? Hey, I need to have a solid, right? And it's go left, right? So it's go left. So here is my solutions, right? So here's my solution, go left, right? So now let's try to write it into the interval form, because this will go to infinity. So how do I write here? The infinity, negative infinity to 6. Parenthesis or bracket? Bracket, right? Because it's equal sign, it's a bracket here. Okay, so now last two problems here. Okay, so for this problems here, for the F here, as we talk about, in the equation, maybe it's easier. Let's try to get rid of the fraction first, then make it all whole numbers. It will be easy to do the calculation. So I can multiply the 4 both sides, right? So this is 3x minus a greater than or equal to the 4. This is negative 3. Do I need to change the inequality sign? No. right? I don't need to change the inequality sign. Why? It's because I'm multiplied by what? A positive numbers, right? So I don't need to change the inequality sign. So still the same. Okay, so here cancel. So my left is 3x minus 8. 4 times negative 12. Negative 3 is what? It's negative 12, right? Okay, so now I can do this is plus 8 plus 8, right? So now I have, this is 3x plus greater than or equal to negative 4 here. Now I divide by 3, divided by 3. So I can say x is negative 4 over 3. In here, do I need to change the inequality sign? No, right? Because why? Because I am dividing a positive number, so I don't have to, right? So that's why my answer. So how do we read it? So we read is because the opening to x, so it's x is greater than negative 4 over 3. So it's greater than, so I go left or go right? I go right, right? Greater than go right. Okay, so now let's take a look here. So if this is my 0, okay, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. And negative 4 over 3 is a little bit less than negative 1, so it's probably is here, right? And then because I have equal sign, so what I have here, I have a solid. And it's read x greater than, so which way I go? Go right, right? So that's what. So this will be my solution. So how do you write this? Because go right, this is infinity, this is negative infinities, right? So the bracket is going to go to the infinity. So in here, where they start here, negative 4 over 3, right? Because I have equal sign, I use a bracket instead of parentheses here. Okay, last problem. We're doing so good. And so I think hopefully you guys get a good understanding. Okay, let's try to do our last one. Well, we got 2 parentheses again. So distributive properties here, distributive property, distributive property. So when we do the distributive property, be very careful about the negative sign. So this is 4n. All right, so this is boom, booms, right? We need to do a both, right? Okay, so let's see again one more time. Be careful about these negative signs, right? Be careful about this negative sign. So it should carry to both. Okay, so it's negative 5 times n. What is here? Negative what? 5n. The next one is negative 5 times negative 3 is what? Plus 15. This is the place some students always lose the point because they forgot to take the both, negative to both, right? So this is 3n plus 3 minus 4. Okay, so now that's good. So let's try to combine a little bit. So here, this is 4n minus 5n. So how many n? Negative n plus 15 here, greater than, this is 3n. And so here, this is 3 minus 4. What is here? Minus 1. Okay, so then I need to combine. So I minus 3n, my minus 3n. Okay, minus n minus 3n is how many n? Negative 4n plus 15 greater than. So these two cancel, it's negative 1. Then minus 15 minus 15. So I have a negative 4n. So these two cancel is greater than negative 16. Now I solve for n. I divide by negative 4, divided by negative 4. And the n's here, negative 16 divided by negative 4 is 4. Okay, so now be very careful here. So this is greater than, right? Do I need to switch the sign? Oh, yes. Why? because I am dividing by a what? A negative number. So remember, you multiply or divide by a negative number. What happens here? Do not forget, you need to switch the signs, right? So you switch from the greater lessness here. Okay, so now, okay, so because n is less than, I go left or go right. Because it's less than, I go left, right? Okay, so now let's try to graph it. Okay, so now I need to mark it. So this is 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, so n is less than 4, right? So I go to 4th here. It's a solid or a circle? It's a circle. Why? Because it's less than. I do not have equal sign, so it's less than. Because it's less than, so I go left or go right? Go left, right? So this is my solutions, right? So this is my solution. So it's all the way till 4th, right? Okay, good. So now how do I write it? Okay, so this end to where? To negative infinity. This end to 4. So it's a parenthesis or bracket? Ha, it's a parenthesis. Why? Because I don't have equal signs here, right? Okay, that is for this lesson. How do I solve inequality? So what are the key points you need to remember? If you multiplied or divide by both sides by a negative number, very important, you need to switch your inequality signs. Correct? Okay, good. Then the next thing here is when you write into the interval notations here, right? So if it's equal sign, you use bracket, right? If it's just like greater than less than, you use parentheses here. Also remember, if it's less than, if it's x less than something, you go to the left-hand side. If it's greater than, you go right, all right? That's it. And that will be this lesson is how to do the inequality. Hopefully you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions or any requests, you can always send me an email at shikomathslab@gmail.com, or you can look at my introduction slide. I have my Gmail there. So you can also feel free to subscribe to my channel. And so nice talk to you, and we'll talk to you on the next lessons. All right, bye.